Hello everybody. Welcome to another live stream of Fury of Dracula. This is a match from the New Blood Championship between Snuffaluffagus playing as the Hunters and Altaris playing as Dracula. Hello to everybody. Nice sound, great. That's what I want to hear. Good. Hunters are already set up. We got the Pizza Wizard start here, and Dracula's picked starting position already. We got a Charged Carriage on Mina. Another match of Fury of Dracula is upon us. Who knows what we've got in store for the next hour and a half, 2 hours, however long it may be. I hope everything's okay with the live stream. I'm here on my own today, so no co-commentator, but if there's any issues with sound or quality or whatever, then do let me know. Oh, and the rivalries have started already. The fan clubs are about. Strider is rooting for Snuff. Really, Strider, after you demolished Snuff in half an hour here in the week. I see how it goes. Just normal starting things here in terms of Hunter supplying, getting some events. Jonathan Harker is in play. Hello to everybody watching the live stream. Feel free to say hello in the chat. Feel free to ask me questions, and we can chat during the game. He needs to stop Altaris. Isn't that your job, Strider? But then also, I'd also argue that you need to be stopped. You're the one who hasn't lost a game yet. So if you don't know, this is the New Blood Championship, a tournament designed to help out newer players. We've got 8 new players and 4 experienced players in the tournament, but the experienced players are those who have not made it into the finals of the World Championships that have been held previously. And in general, everyone seems fairly well matched, so this has been fantastic to watch, and also then providing as much commentary and content as possible for then everybody to learn from. And yeah, I'll try and keep the commentary as broad as possible in terms of strategy, but obviously it depends on what happens during the game. And these are 2 of the top performers so far. I should have done my research before I went live. If I remember rightly, Snuff has played 7 games and is currently 5 wins, 2 losses. And Altaris has only played 6 and is 5-1. And Strider, who's in the live stream, is the current leader of the league. So yeah, after beating Snuff, is in a very good position. But then you're gonna have to play Altaris at some point, Strider. So that's gonna be very interesting to see. We'll have to see. So yep, we've got a league format, so everyone's playing different games against different people. We're reaching the end of the league stage. Everyone's guaranteed 10 games, 5 as Hunters, 5 as Dracula. At the beginning, the opponents were decided randomly. Then now at this sort of the last 4 matches, they're going to be decided based upon, you know, players who've got a similar ranking to you. So, you know, if some people got a bit screwed over at the beginning, got a really tough group or tough opponents, then they'll be able to sort of try and catch up a little bit. Nobody gets eliminated after the league stage. All 12 competitors will stay in the competition, but they'll go into a knockout. And obviously the higher ranking that people get in the league stage will then determine their seeding for the knockout stage. And then obviously the higher you get, then in theory you've got an easier route to the final. We'll have to see if that really pans out that way. And how many return, you know, matchups we've got, all that sort of thing. Fangs of Fire is in the chat. Hello, Fangs. Another New Blood competitor. So yeah, people who are watching the live stream, feel free to interact with me. If you're a new player and you got questions about what is happening, then by all means do so. If you're watching this live stream after the fact, then you can still leave comments below this video. and I will answer them. I see every comment that's posted. This is the advantage. My channel is still relatively small, so I see every comment that gets posted. So actually, I had one today on a video I did probably about a year ago now. One of my analyzing every move series where I was playing as the hunters. So a new subscriber of mine was commenting on that, so I was able to respond. So yeah, I see all the comments. So feel free to say anything, and if you're interested in strategy or tactics or whatever, or why certain things have been done, I'll try and answer the best I can. And also remember, in the description of this video you will find a link to the playlist from all of the games from this tournament. It's not just me who's live streaming, we've got lots of other people who are recording matches, either recording their own matches or recording other people's matches, either live streamed or not, so you can so if you're a new player, then basically, you know, it looks a bit strange. The Snuff here, who's playing as Hunters, seems to be doing things a little bit strangely. No movement at all in the first 3 days so far. This kind of goes against the Learn to Play manual. So the meta in our community is very much, in the first week or so, Hunters stay still, and they supply, and they keep supplying, and keep supplying, during the day, anyway. And that means that they can obtain the items and events that they need in order to find Dracula's Trail, and also get other cards, such as ones which give advanced movement or forewarn to cancel encounters, or whatever the hunters need in order to deal with Dracula later on in the game. So there's actually not much movement early on. At night, hunters do not supply normally. Exactly, Met King. Supplies are limited order fast. Altaris is definitely in Spain. This is interesting because normally Seward starts in Madrid, but because of this Pizza Wizard, who's another member of our community, has done this sort of alternative setup here that Snuff is following, Seward's in Bordeaux, so it does leave Spain open, but there was a check with Jonathan Harker in Granada, and it was empty. Going to play Altaris twice next week, Strider? Not necessarily. It depends on how the fixtures come out. You probably will, but technically at the moment you've only got one game scheduled, so only play that one game, and then once all the results get finalized, I'll then be able to work out who's playing who. It's possible you have to play Altaris again, I'm not sure. This is the setup. Oh, interesting, Strider. So you use the Pizza Wizard setup to beat Snuff. Interesting, okay. What do you mean you have to? Okay, you have to clarify that. Yeah, at the moment, Strider, according to the fixtures, you only have one match against Altaris. Oh yes, of course, yes. Pizza Wizard is the current world champion, so yeah, this is the setup that Pizza Wizard uses. I use the same setup, but Seward in Madrid to eliminate Spain, or Iberia rather, this extremity location that Dracula doesn't want to start there. But Seward starting in Bordeaux does have advantages. Yeah, it means Spain is open, but it makes locations like Amsterdam less inviting for Dracula to go to. It really does cover more of the center of the map, but it doesn't affect the east. So yeah, you see there with that hired scouts that Snuff got checked Bucharest, and I think it was Valona, to try and maybe rule out parts of the east, which I think is not a bad thing to do. But obviously then Italy is sort of unaffected. No, Strider, you're not playing both sides. You might have to, but at the moment you don't. You've only got one game. In the Discord it tells you which side you're supposed to be playing. If you played Hunters against Snuff, then you're going to be playing as Dracula against Altaris. The idea was that you're going to be playing both sides. Because we're down to 11 people now, it's kind of messed up everything. Yeah, Strider's making a good point here in the chat that what Hunters could have done with that Hide Scouts is use one of the Hide Scouts here. If you don't know, Hide Scouts is a card that allows you to pick 2 locations on the board, and Dracula has to reveal them if they're on his trail. So what he could have done was to just throw one of those Hide Scouts into either Dublin or Galway. Because it is something that Dracula can do, where you know, start in Galway, move to Dublin, misdirect Galway to then go back, and you can hide along the way. I mean, there's only 2 locations, but one of these could be a hide. So yeah, that would rule it out. But I guess the Hunters will be able to know if it is Ireland if Dracula goes to sea. But then again, there are some situations like it could be a southern Italy thing, going between Naples and Bari, and then Dracula goes Adriatic across to Verona to make it look like Ireland, but it's not Ireland. So yeah, I agree. I think just throwing one into Ireland is not a bad thing to do, just to rule it out. Oh, okay, so we know this is not Ireland because there are 4 spaces now, and that's impossible to do. In Ireland, and there's a rumour token, so that probably means, unless it's all a bluff, this first encounter is not a vampire, most likely something like a hoax, or a bodyguards, or spy, something like that, which Altaris is hoping will mature, and then the vampire after it will also mature. But the Hunters might be able to get something like a newspaper report, which will be able to deal with that. So basically what the Hunters are doing here, they're digging for things like Hide Scouts, or even better, a newspaper report. Let's see where Snuff checks. Probably won't check the east because he checked that last time. So might check Spain, might check southern Italy. Everywhere else on the map is fairly accessible to him. I don't know if he's got a newspaper. The fact that Snuff used Jonathan Harker for the search effect and not the ally effect makes me think that he's already picked up a newspaper report early. But we won't know that for certain until tomorrow, when the newspaper, the non-immediate use of newspaper can be triggered. Interesting. Check center of the map. Given the setup that the Hunters are using, I personally would not be checking the center of the map here, but that's okay. I'd be more worried about extremities. Italy, Spain again. I know Granada got checked, but potentially could have been Cadiz. I can't remember when Jonathan Harker was drawn. Maybe somebody in livestream can remind me. Ever since I've kind of stopped playing the game, I don't pay attention as much as I used to. When I'm playing, I'm in a different mindset. Yeah, still supplying. So they're just, even though they're full up on items and events, they're just still supplying, because you rinse through the deck, you get rid of these weaker items like dogs and garlic reef as an example, and yeah, there's a couple of good things in here, like there's a couple of stakes we discard, a couple of rifles, but there are 4 rifles in total, there are 4 pistols in total, there are 4 stakes in total, so if you discard a couple of them, it's not a big deal. Also depends on just the distribution of who has got those items when they were supplying. The advantage is because Godalming is with Mina, Godalming supplies twice as fast because he gets 2 items per supply rather than 1. So if he gets good items, he can hunt them across to Mina. Strider here says, I hear major static. Does that only just come across? I've changed nothing from my side. Can somebody else in chat verify that? According to my OBS settings, there's no static on my mic. Yes, this is a big match actually. There's a lot of people at the top of the league which can finish. Oh, you had it for a moment then it dropped. Okay, cool, fine. Okay, nice. Clearly it was just, I don't know. I'm trying not to touch my mic, so yeah. So there's a lot of people who could finish on 6 wins after these couple of matches before the next reset, which will be the last 2 games before the knockout stage. So yeah, these 2 players in particular, they've got to be really careful. If they lose a couple of games here, if Snuff loses this match as well, then could end up falling out of the top 5. Same with Altaris if Altaris loses both games. So yeah, it's okay. this is the moment of truth. Is there a newspaper report? It looks like there is one. So, and it's Le Havre. That will be very easy for Sud to deal with. Now the question is, where is this vampire? Because what could potentially happen here is if this could be something like a bats. Sud goes there to deal with it, gets battered away, and then cannot deal with where this rumor token is. If this rumor token is not, and he gets pushed, say, to Brussels, there's potentially going to be a problem. If the Hunters have a lot of movement, they might be able to get there in time. The other good strategy about having, you know, the non-rumor encounter first is that if the Hunters use newspaper on it, which they have, then the Hunters don't know where this rumor token is. Now, Le Havre is a bit of a problem because there's only 3 cities connecting to Le Havre. It's not something like Strasbourg, for example, where there are 7 cities. But I reckon it's going to be none. It's the one that's furthest away from, you know, all the other Hunters. If Sud goes to Le Havre and gets maybe pushed away or whatever, it's further away from all the other Hunters. So, Godalming has horses. In case you don't know, Faust horses are a critical part of the sort of the meta that's developed in our community. Oh, he stumbled into Dracula. Okay, I don't think Snuff was intending for that to happen. Actually, that might tell us a lot about where he went. Did they... Oh! Yep, I don't think Altaris was expecting... Well, probably Altaris... There was a risk that that could have happened, because a 2-horse roll would definitely take you to Zurich. But I don't know if Snuff was expecting that. Okay, that's... Okay, we're gonna get some early combat, people. Just what you need on a Sunday night. Yeah, maybe. It might be over in half an hour. Who knows? Yeah. Snuff him out, exactly. This is going to be interesting. Now, the Hunters now have a bit of an awkward decision to make. How do they approach this? Does Godalming take this 1v1? Do they try... Can Sud even get there with a sense of emergency? That's what he would need. Or a chartered carriage. Does Mina have horses to get into this? She has a chartered carriage. So actually, well, she did anyway. Does she still have... She still has it. So she could get to Zurich and no bother. Are they going to take this 2v1? What's this encounter on Zurich? If the Hunters rush to deal with Dracula in Zurich and it goes badly and they get beaten up and or Dracula escapes, then what happens to Le Havre? What happens to this rumor token? So there's quite a few things that Snuff has to think about here. This is not a straightforward decision. If you become sort of, you know, really focus and you tunnel vision onto just killing Dracula, then you might end up losing a lot of resources and the trail might start maturing. On the other hand, if you get an opportunity to jump on Dracula 3v1, then I would probably say you should do it. It just depends. It depends on how equipped Snuff is. So yeah, Snuff's going to take a bit of time here to think, which is understandable. Okay, Sud supplying. Interesting, not even going to Le Havre. Problem is, if that's a hoax, even if it's not a bat, even if it's just a hoax, and Sud goes to deal with it, unless Van Helsing's going to come across and deal with it. No. Van Helsing supplies. And it's also very significant. If Mina comes in here to Zurich, no, she's supplying. Interesting. Because if she did, and Dracula escape as bat, this east-west corridor with Munich and Vienna is just wide open, and Dracula could just move through it very easily. So that's intriguing. Yeah, so clearly Godalming has something. Maybe heroic leap, maybe planned ambush, or maybe just thinks Godalming's not going to die in this situation. You know, he's got 11 health. How bad could it be? Especially since Dracula didn't ambush with Zurich. Oh, he hid in Paris. I guess he didn't want to go to Nantes, so he didn't want to trigger... Evil present local rumors. Such a rough way to get revealed. Yeah, maybe, unless Dracula wanted this situation to happen. Maybe Dracula thought that one of the hunters would move in here. Obviously, he would probably prefer Mina to move in and not Godalming, but... Oh, Godalming only has one combat item. So in case you don't know why I know this, this combat hand size is basically the 3 basic cards, Punch, Dodge, and Escape, plus any cards which can play actively in combat. So there's only one. So it could be a weapon, could be Heavenly Host, it could be like a gun and then there's a Holy Bullets alongside it. Godalming could be holding a stake, obviously can't be used in combat. Claws. Okay, Godalming escapes. So takes 4 damage, but stops, you know, there's no escape as bat from Dracula, so, you know, maybe Dracula didn't draw a Mesmerize or something. But now Dracula's going to be forced into a little bit of a choice here. He'll risk getting collapsed on by both Mina and Godalming if he walks into 38. Or would they still move to 38? So yeah, so it was a non. Oh, he searched it. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so so this is interesting. Godalming's no threat for tomorrow. He's delayed. So Dracula now can maybe move to 38 and then look to wolf form, potentially. So... we don't know if the space after Paris is Geneva. Oh no, Geneva got searched, didn't it? Right, so we know it's Strasbourg, then. You'd probably wolf form Skybreaker. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one. The fact that Godalming is delayed, I'd probably not. I'd probably wait one more turn. I'd argue that a wolf form from Munich is more deadly, because you can get further east, or you can backtrack to Marseille. Yeah, wolf form from Marseille could also work. Yeah, backtrack to Marseille, then wolf form. You could wolf form into Spain, especially if Sue's going to go up and deal with this. But then your Spain or Iberia, sorry, is connected with this rail line, which is maybe what Dracula doesn't want to do. You could do some cool stuff like go to Marseille and then wolf form through Zurich up to Nuremberg. And then hopefully then Mina moves out of this location, then Dracula moves around her. I'd say for now, Godalming's not much of a threat because he's only got one combat item. But he didn't use it as a stake, that's the weird thing. So if he does have a stake, he didn't use it on the Zurich. If you want to get off rail lines, I would say you don't go down into Spain. I'd say I would risk it. I'd go to Munich here. And if Mina wants to fight, okay, maybe that's a bad idea because it could be like a heroic leap trade. But maybe then wolf form down to 49, 53. Thing is, Godalming's got horses, but then he's not seemingly very well equipped for combat. So if he hasn't, so either the hunters, you know, snuffed there with Godalming, purposely did not use the stake because he didn't think it would be a fighting vampire, which would make sense because if it was a fighting vampire, he would have ambushed with it. He's gonna start jumping into layers. I reckon not, because Le Havre isn't a very good lair location for Dracula to return to. Oh, Suet has horses as well. Okay, so he can get to Le Havre. I probably, well, I don't know. Well, if Le Havre is a hoax, and something's going to mature along here. I can't see. Well, to be fair, Godalming can deal with Paris, I suppose. still supplying with Van Helsing. Altaris is Wakajik's protege. I don't know. Altaris played a lot of hunters against Wakajik. I don't know if he's been practicing the other way round. But you would have learned a lot from Wakajik, that's definitely true. Yeah, see, this is the problem. So, because Paris has this hide card, it is very likely that one hunter alone cannot deal with it. If Sud is delayed by a hoax, and Gadami moves in and gets, you know, hit by a saboteur or bats or something, then who else is going to deal with it? It's going to mature then. Sister Agatha. Okay, we have the ally. We got the 5th hunter in play. She's there she is, lurking in the corner, waiting to pounce. Whether or not Paris is going to mature is going to depend on what the Havre is. Dogs. It was a spy. Wow. So Sud keeps the dogs and deals with the spy. Well, if Altaris is Wakajik's protege, then I think Snuff is JB Philly's protege then. Using the dogs like that. Animistic research. Very nice. Very, very nice. What are you saying, Skybreaker? To put Lord Godalming where Van Helsing starts? The issue is, if Godalming's alone, he can't really utilize his ability to trade good items to somebody else. That's the problem with that one. Because Godalming can just funnel good things onto another hunter. I mean, I maybe understand it from the perspective of, maybe you can tell me why you do it, Skybreaker, but maybe you're worried if Dracula's going to start in Britannica, you want a hunter that's a little bit stronger. But, see, you don't see Britannica starts very often when there's a hunter just sitting there. But again, you know, the way that you set up your hunters is a lot based upon, like, personal experience. If you've been hit by quite a lot of Britannica starts, then you might want to put, you know, a stronger hunter there. It just depends. So this is interesting because Le Havre was not a hoax. It was a spy, which is not a bad thing to put down first, but it's very unfortunate that the dogs were there. This means now Godalming and Sud can team up to deal with Paris. Unless it's something ridiculous like a fog. Oh, interesting. So a lot of the new players start in England. Okay. Well, maybe to counter that, then you might want to do it then. Yeah. It just depends on how you think you can deal with it. I just like Van Helsing here too, because if there's one hunter that's going to be isolated and does not move from there... Oh, that's a problem if Godalming's not going to draw well on horses. Although... If it's a saboteur, Sud can deal with it with the dog. So I've got lots of things going on at once here. But if I'm going to have one hunter who's going to stay isolated in Britannica for the whole game and not move, potentially, I'd rather have it Van Helsing. Because he can just supply and trade. Whereas Godalming, he's like good for combat because of his health and dealing with the trail. I want him on the mainland able to, you know, do all those things. If there's one hunter who's going to just sit still for the whole game, it'll be Van Helsing. So this is now a problem, because Van Helsing... Godalming can't get to Paris. So it's all on Sud. So he did go to Munich. With no wolf form. So is Dracula now in 59? Has he actually done something sneaky and gone to Venice? Has he backtracked to Milan? As then going to potentially wolf form? It's a saboteur and he's got dogs. That is incredible. Right, so this is a really interesting interaction here. if Altaris didn't know that Sue was going to have dogs, but if Altaris had ambushed with the spy in Le Havre, the dogs would have been discarded. So then Sud would have had no dogs to deal with that saboteur, and he would have been delayed, and these 7 points would have been guaranteed. Now there's a chance that there's a very good chance that Paris will now be dealt with, and that is the difference between 7 and 0 points in this game. Oh, Mina went there as well. Oh, I guess maybe Psychic Scan Germany if it's Nuremberg then? The big dog for the win. Oh, wait, what? Who? Oh, I didn't see that. I'm going to see that on the... Gadami has a rifle. I'm watching it back on the live stream because I missed it. And Mina revealed a knife. Okay. So, that's probably then that Gadami has holy bullets then. Unless he has a stake. There are 2 stakes in the discard, so the chances of having a stake are a lot lower. So I was like, maybe Sud has one. Mina has a knife. Yeah, she revealed a knife just now. Yeah. Okay. Supplies. This might tell us what Gadami discards. Evil Presence. Oh, he's adjacent to Gadami and Mina. We had no idea. Thank you, game, for being useful. Stake and holy bullets in discard pile. And it was an aristocratic in Paris, not a fighting vampire. He didn't even have a stake. All the stakes are in discard pile. So if Taurus is paying attention to this, he can throw down all the fighting vampires he wants. Wow. Very helpful. Lol. Love it. Wow. This game just never ceases to fascinate me. Just the small difference of like not ambush. It's like normally my advice to new players would be don't ambush with things like spies or whatever because you want to waste the hunter's time to deal with it. But in this situation, ambushing would have been better because you get rid of the dogs, and then it means then that saboteur is effective. You cannot search when you're delayed, so then Paris would have matured, and Jack will be up to 7 points, and then with all the stakes in the discard pile. This is incredible. What is the space between Paris and Zurich? It's probably 51. Geneva was searched at one point, so I think that was when that was the current location of Dracula. So yeah, I think it's Strasbourg. So actually, in retrospect, you know, Snuffaluffagus' search of Cologne and Geneva was on the money, but it was just very unfortunate that Dracula's in between. So already, there's been a really fascinating start to the game. Already, this is really, really good. Just very fine margins here. Is Altaris going to rue those 7 points? Possibly. Fascinating. So then maybe then, if that's the case, then maybe we should, you know, in terms of giving advice to new players, maybe Spy is going to have to be one where you ambush. Especially if it's Seward. And the chance of him having dogs is higher because he's got that extra, you know, slot in his inventory for an event and an item. So he's more likely to be carrying dogs. How many other dogs are in discard? 2. Yeah. Oh, there's a knife in the discard pile. I didn't even notice there was a knife in the discard pile. Who discarded that? Interesting. Oh, now the wolf form. Yeah, I like this. I really like this. Yeah, I really like this move. Because if the hunters don't start searching certain places, if Gadami and Mina are slow to move, which I doubt they will be because they are quite well supplied, Dracula can misdirect this location after Munich, and then they have no idea where he's going. If they think he's gone east, they have to go really deep into the east. He might be backtracking to go west. Yes, Strider. There is one person who has 7 wins. Do you want to guess who it is? So this is interesting. So yeah, Dracula didn't get those 7 points, which, as we see how this game plays out, could be massive. But Dracula has got a bit of breathing space now. It'd be interesting to see how well, especially Gadami and Mina, because they're the ones who are not delayed and they're not on Britannica, how are they going to be able to deal with this? Are they going to find this location quickly? The hunters are pretty well supplied. They've been supplying through the deck. Seward's down an item because of the dogs, but... no Strider, not yet anyway. Not yet. But could easily, after today, there might be somebody. We'll have to see. I'll have a look at the results. Gadami's still supplying. Interesting. Okay, hired scouts. That's really important. In this situation, I'd actually prioritize hired scouts on the location after Munich. Not the wolf form, because the wolf form is just too large of a range. 3 away from Munich is almost like half the board. So, okay, I like that. Very good, very good. So no, it's Venice. A wolf form from Venice could have also wolf form through Munich to Zagreb. Hasn't done that. Could be up in Germany, could be deeper into Italy, could be across in Marseille now, but Venice as a wolf form location isn't the best, so this is actually okay. Sorry, he's in 55. Where's 55? No, he's not actually. Nope. So nope, not in Verona. Could be in Rome, Marseille, could be tricky and be in Vienna, could be in Nuremberg, can't be in Zurich. 45. Yeah, 45 is definitely a possibility. Yeah. But this isn't the most threatening wolf form. I would be way more worried as a hunter if it's 37. As the wolf form, you know, the location from which he wolf formed. That would be way worse. Or Zagreb, that'd be way worse. This is okay. So Snuff rightly so going through the motions here and trying to work out. Oh, Psychic Sand in the day? Really? Okay. I probably would have done that. I would have supplied and then done a Psychic Scan. But maybe he wants to heal at night. That's okay. So it isn't in Germany, so there's no funny business in terms of wolf forming to Nuremberg, which is definitely something that, you know, some Dracula's would do. Very risky given the hired scouts came out, because he could have easily been discovered, both of his locations, you know, the current one and the one from which he wolf formed could have been discovered. Fascinating stuff so far. How's everybody in the live stream? Hope you're all enjoying it. You know, 10 of you watching right now, thank you very much for tuning in and for spending part of your Sunday with me. There's another game ongoing right now between Burke Marley and Donald Jack. Rakajek and Captain Gyro are recording that one, so that will be out on Rakajek's channel at some point later on today, hopefully. If you go into the description of this live stream, you will find a link to the playlist of all the videos from this tournament, as well as links to all of the people who have been recording videos. I think I need to update it. There are a couple of people missing, but Rakajek's is there. Okay, some trading going on. There's a planned ambush on Mina, so that Charlie Couch got taken off. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well, Skybreaker. Good to see you around. Yeah, a bit unfortunate that Mina is revealing a knife. But, you know, with a planned ambush, possibly she's got a heavy host as well. So yeah, the Hunters have to deal with Strasbourg today. But they also need to try and work out relatively soon where this Wolfhorn location is. If Dracula is in southern Italy, could do some shenanigans where he goes to sea, then goes either direction. The Hunters are then scrambling to deal with the trail and try and work out what direction he's going in. That's not what you want. You kind of, as hunters, you kind of want to be doing one thing at once, basically. One thing at a time. If you're having to split your focus between dealing with trail and then trying to work out Dracula's like landing location, especially from a situation where you could be going in either direction, it's not, you know, unidirectional, then more mistakes could creep in. Oh yeah, how is that new player, Skybreaker? There's so much garlic. Yeah, I was hoping that yeah, Sergey would be watching this, but I don't know if he is or not. Okay, got a horse move, and it's not Geneva. I mean, that is a bit. Is that a potential wolf form location? Nope. Okay, he's trying to check, right? Okay, so maybe forgot about the hide scouts, or maybe the timing of the hide scouts, but that's fine. Geneva's still not a bad place to go to because you're close to Marseille. You're not too far away from Italy if he's going down to the boot. But there is no road connection between Geneva and Milan, which is kind of significant. Oh, Mina has horses now. Okay, okay. This is promising. So you're all the 3 hunters that you want. Marseille. Okay. Alright then. So it's gone to Marseille. Oh, really? Ambushing with fog. I don't know if he had to do that. I don't think he had to ambush there. I think Altaris was a little bit trigger happy there. I mean, it is a little bit significant because it forces Gadaming to go around a slightly longer way, but I think in that situation I wouldn't. Well, wow, it's a tricky one. If you don't, the risk is that Mina jumps on you tomorrow and just ignores it. Oh, really? Using forewarned? Interesting. Okay, that's another then really, you know, that there's so many hard decisions going on here. As Dracula, do you actually ambush with that fog or not? The advantage would be if Mina searches it to be efficient, then she's trapped for a turn longer because of the way it will trigger. Oh, Suud has more dogs. One. Is this JB Philly in disguise by any chance? I think we need a Seward's inquiry over here. Oh bloody hell! Okay. He's zookeeper Seward. You got 2 dogs and a horse. Okay. It's more effective. Yeah, the fog is more effective. What do you mean? It's more effective at night? In terms of if you search a location with fog at night, then you actually get stuck in the fog a day longer. So for the long-term play, it'd be better to keep her there for longer, or to trap 2 hunters there. The reason why maybe you want to ambush in this situation is then Mina gets trapped in it now, and then Dracula's move now today is a little bit safer. The thing is now, there's a forewarn. So a forewarn's been played. So that's one big card that the hunters have used up. I don't know as a hunter here what I would do. It's a tricky one. You want to keep pressure on Dracula. But then what's Mina going to do? Mina's not going to jump on Dracula's space today. She's not going to be equipped. Well, she's got a planned ambush, so I mean, maybe she is equipped. Okay, ambush. Okay. No stakes. Well, actually, okay, so I would also argue there's a... Again, this is another tricky decision here. Oh, he has an escape route. Okay. Okay. As a Dracula player, well, actually, the deck's now reset, so those stakes are back in, but we did know that all stakes had been discarded up to this point. So if you have a fighting vampire on your trail, you actually don't want to ambush, because then you can bait a hunter into a night fight, which is more deadly. However, so many caveats to this. If Dracula is worried that Godalming maybe tomorrow is going to jump on him, he'll want to ambush Godalming now and do damage. Godalming might ignore this encounter and not deal with it tonight. He'll want to try and jump onto Dracula's space. There's so many things you have to think about. Indeed, somebody has to deal with Venice. I mean, Seward can deal with it, but it might be forgotten about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He might want to soften Godalming up, which would make sense why he would ambush. But then, if you hope that the Hunters will just search it out of just efficiency's sake, then you might be into a really bad night fight. He had an escape route, so the end result doesn't really matter too much, apart from the fact Godalming would be 1 health worse off if he searched at night. Now, what's Mina going to do here? Is Mina going to also... Is she going to charge forward into Saragossa? Dracula could be being sneaky here and could be in 15. And then looks to go to Geneva. Obviously, that'll get ruled out if she moves to Saragossa. So yeah, this is a very tricky one. The Huns are putting a lot of pressure on Dracula. Oh, not in Saragossa. Interesting. Okay. So it's Bordeaux, Clermont-Ferrand, or Barcelona. Seward can get to Venice in time. Assuming he doesn't roll slow twice in a row, he can get there. Yeah, the Hunters are putting a lot of pressure on Dracula here. He's adjacent to at least one of these Hunters. If Dracula missteps here, he might get hit by 3 Hunters. Venice will be a problem. Yeah, maybe. I guess it depends on what it is. It could be another fog, and if they're outside of Italy, then that's not going to really matter. I mean, what's the worst case scenario here? Well, hoax would be pretty bad. Devilish Power is always a good card to pick up if there's nothing else there. What's Cloudbreaker saying? I think you'll go to see and head to Cagliari from Barcelona. Possibly. The issue is if you go to Cagliari like that, then your future direction or your future movement is very choreographed. What would be better if he goes to sea and then moves a couple more spaces after that, and then the Hunters don't know if he's gone from Mediterranean up to North Atlantic, or from Mediterranean all the way to Ionian, and they split the board in half, and then that's when mistakes start creeping in. Because if the Hunters don't get the events they need to find him, like a money trail or a lucky local rumors on a port or something, or they don't commit early enough to move across, or they commit too much, then that's when I think things might start to unravel. But the fact that the Hunters have given up no points yet, oh well, that's very good. So poor Dracula can't even hide here, so Dracula's forced to move. He's going to have to move to sea now. So yeah, this has been a tad unfortunate for Dracula. So far the game has gone really well in the Hunter's favour, I'd say. That wolf form did not really cause the damage that we thought it might have done. No points. Going to Cagliari can be good because you force the Hunters to go and deal with this really awkward location if they don't have excellent weather. But I'd prefer a situation where you split the board. And force the Hunters to start picking where they're going. This Vampire and Toulouse is going to be a problem, but Mina and Godalming can just team up on it. Altaris likes to put Hunter Vampires in late game. Well, yeah, might well have to. And try to slow down the Hunters that way and force them to deal with them. New Vampire's a little bit easier because you can't get 2 Hunters to team up on it. They've got plenty of time to deal with Toulouse, they've got plenty of time to deal with Barcelona, Zurich could deal with Venice, and then, you know, in a couple of days all of this could be dealt with, and then suddenly Dracula's landing and the Hunters are free. It depends if they have a money trail. Oh, really? Day rest? Oh, maybe because Mina's gonna move in. Okay. I'd probably just still supply with good arming there, to be honest. That extra health you can go back, take it back later. By going to sea, he's unable to put a rumor in to lose. That's a very important point. Yes, yeah. You can only put down rumor tokens if you make a normal move on land. Or yeah, so if you play a sea location card or a power card, you can't play rumor tokens. I probably wouldn't rumor token to lose anyway because you've got two hunters sitting right there. They can team up on it, so the fact there's no stakes, it doesn't really matter. I might be tempted to lose mature. No, I think if they're well enough equipped, I think they can kill it in one combat. So I just move Mina in. If she needs to play planned ambush, just click quicker, that's fine. I probably wouldn't let it mature, to be honest. They can potentially deal with, you know, they can deal with Toulouse tonight or today. It'll be interesting if Altaris ambushes or not. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't ambush here because you get into a more favorable day fight. If you don't ambush, then you cause the hunters to stop and think, do they want to do a night fight 2v1 or do they wait until the next day? If they wait until the next day, they're using their valuable day actions on a vampire and not moving. So yeah, I wouldn't ambush here. But then these are just, you know, as Dracula, you have to try and increment like small victories against the hunters, and the more you can slow them down, the better. How well equipped? They got 2 combat items each, so we know Mina's got a knife. Godalming has a rifle, but we don't know what the other 2 things are. Possibly 2 heavenly hosts, so they probably want to try to avoid using them here. The fact it's a day fight, it's fine. Is Godalming going to be delayed tonight? Yes, he is. What I mean is, if they didn't, if there's no ambush now, he might be worried about a stake. All the stakes are in the discard. All stakes were discarded. The only way they have a stake is somehow one of those stakes floated to the top of the deck when it reset. But I don't think there's been enough supplies for that to happen. Okay, double punch. Not a bad play. Vampire has saved valuable mesmerizers or strengths, so all in all, not too bad. Yeah, but if they didn't want to take the night fight, because night fights are still dangerous 2v1, weapons get broken and such, then they'd have to do it tomorrow during the day. So if Godalming searches, then Mina would lose her day action as well in order to become delayed. Yeah, exactly, the Scott Sword opening. Fangs. Oh, Godalming has a knife. Okay, that's gonna be it. That's 1 dead vampire. So yeah, this has been a pretty easy kill here. Nah, no need to play Heavenly Host here, don't need to risk it, especially when you got double knife in your infantry. So that means then Godalming must have a rifle and a knife, unless he somehow discarded the rifle and we didn't notice. Yeah, so no, the stakes aren't there. So that's a pretty easy kill there. Okay, Suicide Supply, using up those Mystic Research supplies, that's okay. There's lots of things you can do with Mystic Research in terms of the timing when you use them, but honestly, just using them up is great, as long as you don't end up discarding events by mistake. So yes, here's the thing, like, you know, Barcelona can be dealt with tomorrow, Venice can be dealt with tomorrow, and then suddenly the hunters are like, oh well, we've cleared everything, and Dracula's at sea taking damage. So, yeah, this is the position where you want to be in as hunters. But they need to then try and ascertain where he's gone fast. If they leave it too long, there's a risk that Dracula moves into an extremity location. They rush over to deal with him, and then Dracula leaves again. And that'll be right when week 3 is triggering, and they might then be too far away. His horse economy isn't set yet. It's more or less set. There might be a couple things they're having to try and change, but, you know, it's more or less there, I think. Oh, he's actually landed. Interesting. So maybe it is Cagliari then. Okay. Skybreaker? Are you... Are you Altaris? Interesting. I don't know if I agree with that. I really don't know if I agree with that. If the only intentional of that move was to throw down the rumor token, then I don't really agree. I don't really like this. Because the problem is now the hunters know exactly where you're going next. You're going to have to go Tyrrhenian and then go Ionian. Or just Tyrrhenian, but they know you're going east. Maybe. You're doing very well playing the game and writing in the chat. We have a reckless vampire, and again, I would not ambush here because of the fact you know from counting this, Godalming does not have a stake. Yeah, he could have gone to Alicante. That would be quite a bold move. The thing is, Mina can go and check that pretty easily. Yeah, easily. But then I guess the problem is that a play would be very easily ruled out once he's made, you know, an additional move. Okay. Claws into punch. So a good army is still in this combat. Reckless Vampire will probably... I understand why you'd ambush with Reckless Vampire though, because you want to try and get a Fang in. Okay, thanks, no problem. Good luck with the recording. We got a strength, probably an escape. Oh no, a dodge. Ah, so Godalming's missed 2 opportunities to escape, but given the fact he has no stake, he's probably going to try and fight it anyway. So playing strength was maybe not a bad idea, given he was down 3 HP. A knife would kill. Yeah, not a bad play playing strength there. I guess as vampire here you play mesmerize or strength. Mesmerize. Nice punch. Snuff's winning the combat so far. And now this is important because if Godalming does get mesmerized again, knife will still kill. So maybe as Godalming, I'll be tempted to dodge here and then play knife. Because Vampire will probably play mesmerize or strength right now. There's a mesmerize. No, played the knife. Okay, so knife got cancelled, and knife's not available for next round. That's a really important thing. So the vampire's definitely living, unless he somehow has like another knife that we don't know about. But there was a knife in the discard pile, so I don't think he does. So maybe as the vampire, he just throw out a random fangs and just hope that Godalming does something like. But he wouldn't punch in this situation because both mesmerize have been used. Unless he's scared of the plotting, but I think he just dodged, to be honest. I would have reversed. I would have played dodge and then knife. Because then if he's mesmerized, it doesn't matter because the vampire still dies from 2 health with a mesmerized knife. The only way he can then block it is either with strength or by playing Escaper's Mist. Playing the fangs. Oh, he actually did play punch. Wow, okay. That's a point for the vampire. And he's up to full health, which is also very significant. So the vampire's not dying anymore. So yeah, that was not a good punch. That's probably the first combat mistake that Snuff's made so far. But I guess the they know it's Cagliari. Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess the advantage is landing in Cagliari means that Dracula is getting encounters down and not just moving to C. So it is forcing then the hunters to go and deal with it. So maybe Cagliari is not such a bad move after all. I guess it depends on what sort of game you want to play. Are you going to try and play... I'm going to lose the hunters, like I'm going to make it so that the hunters don't know where I am play, or I'm going to tell the hunters where I am, but I'm going to put down encounters they're going to have to then deal with. Which one's going to slow them down more? I guess this way Dracula can feed on Cagliari up to full health and then be on his way. Escape is missed. Yep, safe play. Oh, he played dodge anyway. Okay. The thing is, Mina and Kodami can just keep going at this vampire until it dies. They got plenty of time to deal with it. Sorry, I've got hiccups now. Okay, Sugus deals with Venice. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'd be tempted maybe to move Van Helsing over here just because you know which direction he's going in. You don't have to keep him in the UK, you know, in terms of being scared that Dracula will go to Britannica. Just create soil in Venice. Maybe. It could well be. It wouldn't be a bad idea. She could then actually do a Dark Hole or something and you get the health back from it. It depends if Suid has a Heavenly Host or not. And we saw none of them in the discard pile. Okay, so Mina's not... Yeah, the problem... Mina's going to have to go and hell deal with this. Yeah, again, I wouldn't be ambushing here. I know you want to get the Fang points, but I just feel like you're going to do more damage to the hunters by doing it at night. It's a tricky one. It depends... Again, it's... What do you value more? That's a problem. Every time I'm trying to think about like how to teach like new people how to play this game, it's always a case of you should do this, but, and here's an exception, but then there's an exception to that exception, and then so on. It gets very messy. There's no. I would just say now, as a hunter player, there is nothing worse from my perspective of getting baited into a night fight that I did not expect to be in. So I would say that's the thing. I would take all the day combats I want. Mesmerize. Punch again. Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to play Fangs because there's a knife to counter it. Strength would be better. It's like learning English. Yep. Or any language for that matter. Yeah, flowchart, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, we need to build one. A decision-making flowchart for Fury of Dracula. Okay, that makes sense. Just throwing out the knife, because you'd hate it if the vampire plays claws there and you've just played, you know, like a dodge or something. You'd be able to kill it. Nope, no crucifix. We haven't seen any crucifixes yet. I didn't check the discard pile carefully. I think maybe there was one in the discard pile. But there might be another one floating about. Yeah, I would have probably thrown out crucifix first round, maybe. Yeah, exactly, because you would have then been able to do 3 damage to that mesmerize. Plays fangs now. Okay, nice dodge. That makes sense because last time the hunters punched into a fangs. Oh, you're learning Dutch, Skybreaker. Oh, that's cool. How's it going? I'm still progressing with Spanish. But yeah, it's always the same, just like so many exceptions. Oh, I can't see your full comment, Met King, because of the emoji that's in the way. Somebody else is gonna have to put a message into the chat so it gets pushed up, so I can see there's a word that I can't see in your message. Strength. I assume to play the knife. Yep, okay, that's 2 more damage. What's Met King saying? Are you playing Dracula? Yes. Panic. No. Smash keyboard. Oh, what on earth does that say, Skybreaker? Well, I assume Lernen means to learn. Is Ben? Oh, ich bin. Oh, I am learning. Like in German, ich bin, I am. What's it in Betech? I don't know what that means. Sorry, we're just talking about language, not talking about the combat. So yeah, being taking 4 damage from these strengths, but you know, just trying to throw out the knife. Good mesmerize. Nope, never mind. Good punch. Mina's fearless. Things Mina now cannot kill this unless she throws out her other card that we don't know what it is yet. But it has to be a Heavenly Host. There's no way, right? The thing is now, the vampire has to play Escape as Mist. Oh, Enbetig. It looks like Ambition in German. Okay, okay. That's cool. Escape as Mist. Lucky that he drew it. And there's the knife again. She must have Heavenly Host. There's no way she would have to play the other card, whatever it is. Unless it's a double knife, maybe. No, that's not. But Gadami has a knife. It can't be. Well, that's a problem. They've both been beaten up quite badly. So they're gonna have to wait at least 1 more day. Oh, Jay makes a Y sound. In Betier. Oh, okay. Cool. Jonathan Harker. Cagliari. Da da da. Oh, he searched Alicante and not Cagliari. Oh. Right then. In retrospect, not a bad move because Gadami and Mina have basically beaten themselves up against this reckless vampire. So actually those ambushes were not a bad idea, given the fact that that vampire didn't die. So, yeah, this is now very, very interesting. Still got the dogs. Oh wow, so Dracula's used both fogs already. So Seward's out of commission. Seward cannot help with this situation for quite a bit of time. So what are Gadami and Mina going to do? By the time, they might take a while to deal with this reckless vampire. And if that's the case, then Dracula's going to build up a long trail in Spain and then leave. Wow. Has the game now swung back into Dracula's favor? We'll have to see. A hypnosis on Mina. Blimey. CG? Oh yeah, Cosgrave would be really nice about now. Well, yes and no. If they can't capitalize on it, then it's not that great. Yeah, they could CG him back to C, but you only take... Well, actually, that would be really significant, because the whole trail would clear, and that Reckless would disappear. So actually would be a pretty good move to CG him. Because you would take 7 damage right off the bat. Yeah, I know you'll be able to feed later, but... Dracula's hidden. Okay. So Altaris is playing a very risky game here, moving towards 2 hunters, but the fact the hunters are quite beaten up, and he's kind of ascertained what they have. In terms of rifle, knife, and then probably Heavenly Host. He can't use hide. No, not right now, he can't use hide. Not in Alicante. Now he can. If he's in Madrid he can use it, but probably go onto South Atlantic port and do it. Okay, so the hunters are committing to deal with this Reckless Vampire. Well, actually, I don't know if you want to bring Van Helsing over now, because Dracula could escape to South Atlantic, then go into Britannica, while Van Helsing's moving across. So I think keeping Van Helsing there is actually better. If Godalming could kill this Reckless Vampire right now, that would be really handy. If this Reckless Vampire sticks around, and still, you know, continues to beat up Godalming, maybe does another, say, 4 damage to him, it's, a difficult one, because the hunters are going to become too weak in order to deal with Dracula. And it's pretty significant now, though, because Mina used the planned ambush, so if she does have a Heavenly Host knife, it's not as potent. Yeah, this vampire has to play pure defensive. It's trying to stay alive on 1 health is really hard. If you get really unlucky and you do not draw mesmerizers and strengths, especially a strength here, because Godalming could punch. Godalming might actually dodge here to try and bait out one of those and then hit him next round. Here he goes. Claws. And a punch. Okay, so the vampire's dead. Okay. So again, the hunters it's swung back in hunters' favor now, because they've dealt with it. Yeah, Godalming's low health, but this is the last combat with that Reckless Vampire. So it did not stall as much as maybe it could have done. Van Helsing is very adamant that he's just going to stay there. He's still in the retirement home. Mina's moving. This is very risky. This is very, very risky. I know you need to put pressure on Dracula, but again, I wouldn't have ambushed there, because the fact that Mina moved on Alicante, it's obvious that she wanted to deal with this encounter, so you could have done it at night, so then she wouldn't have healed. Wolf form is back on the menu. Not yet. Can't wolf form today, but could wolf form then the next day. Dracula could be in Saragossa here and then moves to 54. And then he could be breaking to the center. Now I know Seward's coming across, but if Dracula's able to avoid going through Marseille in that, could get past Seward. But yeah. Yeah, pretty nasty that Mina took all the damage there. Well, yeah, the fact she moved there, I think it was fairly obvious that she wanted to deal with that encounter. So I'd make her search it at night. personally. That's okay. Yeah. Altaris only has 1 point, but he's got these 2 hunters in his vicinity beaten up, and he's just got a Dracula card. Oh. Depending on what that is, that could be crucial. It wasn't one that is play immediately. Somebody's used up all their Mystic Research. That's the problem. When you have Mystic Research, you have to keep count very, very carefully. So we'll see what that card is. For the hunter's sake, you hope it's something like Sensationalist Press. If Dracula got second Devilish Power or Unearthly Swiftness, even Summon Storms can be played immediately, so that won't be. It won't be that one. Yeah, it just depends on what it is. It might say, yeah, it might save Drac. Who knows? It all depends. It's just a lottery on based on what card that is. Devilish Power would be amazing here because the hunters clearly have 3 heavenly hosts, so all it takes for them is to supply and get a consecrated ground, and they've been supplying quite a lot. They're, you know, over halfway through the event deck, so may well need that Devilish Power. The chance of it being Devilish Power is unlikely because there's already 1 in the discard pile, so there's only 1 to get, not 2. However, Draco could be playing very tricky here and going to Saragossa and then enter Madrid and might bait a hunter onto him. Nope, doesn't seem to be Darvis Returns. He does. I'll have to watch the prompts again. Could be an Enraged. Enraged would also be really good here if he's got one of these weak hunters jumping onto him. He could mesmerize a heavenly host, which would be very strong. Kadami's moving. This is very risky play here from hunters. Oh, he hit in Madrid. Wow. But I did say he could play tricky by going to Madrid. Didn't think about the opportunity of hiding. Good grief. Yeah. This might be a kill. We'll have to see. Oh, no rifle. Oh, he's got a knife though. He lives this, right? Kadami should still have a knife. He does, but no rifle. Bloody hell. And Gadami already used his escape route against that new vampire. And Mina has planned out. Wow. So in the end, actually, those ambushes on the vampires actually did pay off. Because there were no stakes. Oh, there's a trade. Is this a trade to give him an escape route? Or is this a trade to get good things off him in case he dies? Mina cannot walk into this. She's guaranteed to take 2 damage from the rats. You can't fight her with 1. No, okay. That makes sense to heal. Let's see. Oh, he has a second escape route. Well, if he knew that he had that second escape route ready to trade, then fair enough. Dracula could stay in place if he wanted to. He could feed and then try and take out Godalming during the day fight. If he wanted to. Mina's no threat to him. If Snuff made that move knowing that he had the second escape route, then fair enough. But still, my hands got really beaten up by that. Oh, Dracula's feeding right now. Oh. Can he kill a 3 health Godama? Day fights are really awkward. Because you can't do double damage from claws. You might not draw. You might be able to do 2 damage, but doing 4. There's no event, so you know there's nothing else. There's no escape routes, no planned ambushes on Godaming. Godaming could just move out of this, but then Dracula could just follow him. That's the thing. If he's moving, he's not healing. Is it dangerous though? He got 3 health Godaming and a 3 or 4 health Mina. Do we know if there's a great strength? We don't know that. There might well be. We haven't seen any prompts for it, if that's the case. But the thing is, like, Dracula could just play with these 2 hunters here. They're so weak. He could even just move on to their spots if he wants to. He's going to constantly take Dawn fights, but he can just whittle them down eventually. I mean, he can get maybe a kill or 2 out of it. We'll have to see. Renewed Vigor 3-on-1. He would have to play. You'd have to have a Chartered Carriage on Seward for that to happen. Yeah, you could do. You could do. But then even then, I mean, do you do a 3v1 when? Well, then Mina can heal, I suppose. I don't know. Well, there's no Renewed Vigor, because it would have been played right now. Now that's a question. What should trigger first? Dawn combats or Dawn events? Plays a strength. Escape? Plays Heavenly Host. So Godaming guarantees this 4 damage into Dracula. After he's fed, not a bad move. So, all in all, not bad move from either, to be honest. Playing Strength makes sense. Playing Heavenly Host because Dracula's fed now. So unless he escapes his bat later, he's not going to get that feedback. There's seemingly no Desecrated Soil about. If Dracula has one, he can maybe drop one in Spain now, knowing that a Heavenly Host is being used. But then if Godaming dies, then that 4 damage done to him might not worth it. I don't know. Godaming could have escaped right now. Is that worth dealing 4 damage? I don't know. It depends on your point of view. It depends on how the rest of this match plays out, I suppose. Yeah, the hospital is Madrid. Yeah. Oh, do you mean the rats are still there? Yeah. Yeah. So Godaming would just move next door, basically. they've got the stretcher waiting for him already. A lot depends here on what Dracula's drawn. If you've got a lot of attacking cards, like claws, you just throw out both of them. Plays a Mesmerize. Punch. No. Dodge. Makes sense that you would dodge. But now Dracula can play an aggressive card. He can play a claws and he knows that Godaming dies. Unless there, of course, there is a great strength. There's no Lucy's Revenge either. Dracula could try and get some health back, but Godaming might play the knife. Escape, possibly. I mean, if you have great strength, then escape is the obvious move. But maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe great strength is buried in the deck still. The fact that Godaming's taking so long to make his move here makes me think he doesn't have great strength. That's my gut feeling. Second mesmerize. He played the knife, went for the aggressive move. We've got to remember, Sister Agatha's in play. So Dracula won't actually heal off this Fangs if he does get one. He's used up all. Oh, we got 11 health, reckless vampire. Oh. Another strength. And a dodge. Could have escaped again. Yeah, no, you can play Escape as Bat, but then the Escape as Bat won't actually trigger in the sense you won't get the effect, you won't get the benefit of it. If Godalming can somehow avoid this next attack, then he'll live. But the thing is, he doesn't have rifle. He has a knife. So if Dracula does not play Fangs here, then Godalming dies. He has to play a claws, but does he have the claws? That's the problem. I assume Godalming's played the knife here. There's the claws. There's the escape. No great strength. Godalming dies. He dealt 4 damage to Dracula, but Godalming is now out of commission. Fortunately, the hospital is very, very close, but that is 4 points to Dracula, and that is very significant. Obviously, he doesn't really have a trail to be dealt with, but has killed a hunter, and that's a horse gone. Mina can't do anything about this. Sword's coming in, but obviously it's going to be a bit too late. So yeah, nice distraction with Venice in the end. The way all the trail got dealt with, Sword was not free to come into Spain here. Who can't come out for the morning fight? Godalming. No, Godalming's going to go into the hospital at dawn. So he could come out if he wants to, but he'll have no items, and a rat will hit him. And obviously that assumes that Dracula is still there. As Dracula, I don't think you would. As Dracula, you want to move on. If you've got Desecrated Soils, you want to throw them down. Oh, wait, he only moved 1 space? Oh, Marseille's a lair. Right, gotcha. So actually, you know, then if there was a renewed vigor, there's a chance that could have been a bat, so I would push him out. This is dawn. Yeah, no, but it's the next dawn. It's the next dawn he goes into the hospital. So Godalming's going to be stuck for a whole day not doing anything. He won't even go to the hospital at night. What do you even do with Mina? Yeah, I guess you heal. I guess there's not really much you can, unless you block one of the South Atlantic locations, I suppose. It just goes to show how, you know, the thing I was talking about before, how you should ambush with all your fighting vampires, unless there are no stages, because you can bait them into a night fight. Unless Dracula is really close to the hunters, because then you can guarantee to beat up the hunters, and then you have situations like this, where you can then kill one of them. Dracula wolf form? No, I don't think so. I don't think you need to. He can just throw down a couple of encounters, you know, along the South Atlantic coast, and then as soon as Seward moves in, he just leaves. And Seward's move across for basically nothing. If Seward doesn't move across, then Dracula can just stay in Spain even longer, or in Iberia rather, for longer. We've still got the event card that we don't know what it is. So it wasn't enraged. I'm trying to think, was there any point in that fight where... Was there any time in that fight where the hunters actually countered Dracula? No. No, so it could be enraged. It could be enraged, it could be unearthly twistedness, could be sensationless press, could be wild horses, it could be false tip. Are there any others? There he is. Now Godalming's in the hospital. And that's a horse gone, and that horse is not coming back at this point. Oh, who supplied? Oh, that was Van Helsing. Oh, and Godalming instantly moves out. He's gonna have to supply a little bit. Chartered carriage from Seward. So that gets him to 48. Thing is, Dracula might just instantly leave. I don't know if it can be roadblock. I think roadblocks can be played immediately. I mean, this puts pressure on Dracula, but the issue is then you don't have that chartered carriage for when he's maybe going east, for example. The other thing is, if it was a card like Roadblocks that you could play at the end of the Dracula phase, there would be an additional prompt. Well, there should be a prompt. Oh, okay, Mina's going to take the damage from the rats. What does Dracula do now? Does Dracula stay? Unlikely when you're... well... Godalming is no threat. Seward and Mina are, though. Yeah, the rats are doing work. 8 damage? I thought 6, no? Godalming moved in. Then Godalming... yeah, 6 damage, I think. They've nibbled. They've nibbled 8 damage. Yeah, they're pretty persistent, especially when you know there are no rifles around, or pistols. Yeah, they've only got knives. They can't be countered by knives. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty significant. How risky do you play here as Dracula? I mean, Dracula could also be in Santander, then moving up to Bordeaux now. could also be going back to Alicante, because then Mediterranean falls off the trail. Right, so that's the issue with this. The hunters don't actually know where Dracula is. Oh man, but if Dracula can get to like 15, then wolf form, oof. I mean, gnarly. Oh, he's wolf forming now. Interesting. He could be going up to Nantes, and then going Le Havre. North Coast could be... Yeah, wolf forming to Alicante, could be wolf forming to Toulouse or 15, could be wolf forming deeper into Spain to try to trick them. Not a wolf form to Paris, though, although that's not possible at this moment. Okay. How many hired scouts have been used? I think it's like 3 or 4 already, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. So no hired scouts, so yeah. Oh, all of them congregating. Oh, there you go. Now they've nibbled. Oh, and the dogs. I don't know about that move. I probably would have checked Bordeaux, because that's the... No. I would have checked 15 or... Because there's a chance he's wolf form out of Spain, and you don't want that to have happened. Oh, Rufus Smith. Oh, that'd be good for a search, though. Yeah, it's probably the best rats we've ever seen in terms of how much damage they did. Did 6 damage and they burnt a card. Oh, really? Didn't go to Santander. Okay, that's really good for the hunters then. The fact that Dracula is not north of Iberia, so that's a really good situation for them. Imagine if you draw local rumours now. Nope, no local rumours. I was just playing a lot. They're down to 28 cards. They're basically 2/3 of the way through the event deck. That's very significant. The chance of them of drawing things like Great Strengths and then Renewed Vigors and Consecrated Grounds is just only going to increase now. So yeah, Altaris has got to watch himself. The thing is, the encounter deck for Altaris is also just reset. So those 2 fogs are back in. So he might draw them. Especially if there's some desecrated soils amongst this lot. Yeah, dogs have done a lot of work, yeah. Yeah. Philly will be proud. We try and make sure he sees this video. Anyone who's watching this, I'm fully aware that in the game it doesn't say snuffaluffagus, it says snuffaluffagus. I'm just using his Discord name. Now Dracula goes to sea. Okay, so probably did go to Alicante then, if that's the case. Or maybe went from Granada to Lisbon. So interesting, not wolf forming from Mediterranean, wolf form before going to sea. Things, it is quite late in the game, it's Friday week 3. Oh, to bring back Rufus Smith as a ally, I assume? Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a close one. Dracula's got to make 3 more moves, and then 3 more on top to win, unless there's a vampire lair. Yeah, so the hounds have to get equipped. They have to do these 2 encounters ASAP, and then they have to get on him. The fact there's a hypnosis, that's really nice. They can just use that as soon as he lands. Okay, keep going. So just stocking up, fully equipped. Garlic Grievous in the discard, no real surprise. Van Helsing staying put, just to stop Dracula from going up this way, which makes sense. Dracula could land in Marseille. He's got a lair there. But then the Hunter can catch him a turn after that. It's probably not a good idea. I guess what's going to happen here is he's going to use Hypnosis, and then Mina deals with the trail. If there's a vampire in here, that'll also be very significant in terms of influence. If there's a desecrated soil, that'll be very important in terms of IDS, assuming Altaris wins, but also just, you know, helping him to survive until Fury of Dracula kicks in. The chances of consecrated ground are really high, so yeah. A lot can happen. What do you think, people in the live chat? Put in your predictions. Who do you think is going to win? Who is in the better position right now? Got one vote for Dracula. I think, to be honest, I think Dracula's in a slightly better position here as well. Just in terms of the fact that you got 3 hunters all congregating here, which is not what you want at this stage. You want them to be spread out. If Sud had been sitting on Genoa all this time, then I think yeah, you got the 2 different directions covered. That being said, then obviously Sud can help these 2 heal quicker, which is obviously not a bad thing either. As long as he doesn't botch the C move, Dracula will win. Yeah, we'll have to see. As long as he doesn't get like consecrated grounded as soon as he lands, which might be enough to finish him off because of Rufus Smith in play. The Hunters have tools, that's the thing. They could have a consecrated ground. Rufus Smith is going to be significant in terms of keeping Dracula's health, you know, in check. If they just draw a renewed vigor or something, that might be enough. We'll have to see. If they have a speedy telegraph to combine a hypnosis with like a consecrated ground or something, then that would be good. So I can see a situation here where, you know, Hunters just accumulate, you know, just an array of events that can just kill Dracula instantly. But I can also easily see a situation where Dracula just, you know, slips through and he just outruns them for the rest of the game while they're all still trapped in Spain. Rufus Smith. Dracula's still moving, so he's now in South Atlantic or Turinian. Probably Turinian, given the fact he won't be moving towards Van Helsing. But then he might do it as a bluff as well. I mean, Dracula's down to 6 health. That's definitely significant. If there is a vampire, and he combines it when Dracula lands, Dracula could be up to 12 influence. So yeah, the Hunters they do have to start moving. They have to start dealing with these encounters. Maybe Godami's going to deal with the encounters, and Sud and Mina will leave. I mean, that's also viable. You had to get them to Toulouse, and then get them to Genoa, then the next day. You can't stay here forever. Because even if you do find him when he lands, you might be too far away to even do anything about it. Seward still supply. What is he looking for? Because if you've got Van Helsing still supplying too, I think you need to move Seward and Mina out of here. Lots of stakes. So then again, a vampire lair would vampire lair buy him an extra day? Not at the moment. No, it would actually buy him an extra day. It would buy him an extra day. So yeah, vampire lair would be important. Mina's moving. Oh, he wolf onto Gadif. Interesting. So he's now in Mediterranean or North Atlantic. So he's been shifted over one space. So maybe he could land in Cagliari, but the problem is then he's landing in Cagliari where he's not getting points for it. I'm really surprised that Mina's the one who's moving, given... Yeah, she still has a horse, knife, and something else. Oh, wow, use a Holy Circle to get out. Okay. They're going to have to deal with that vampire. So I think I would have been tempted to fight it, to be honest. Unless one of the other hunters has a stake, and then I'd be like, okay. If Godalming just picked up a stake and he deals with it, that's fine. So actually, working out where Dracula is right now in terms of sea moves is important. So he's not in Tyrrhenian. He can only be as far east as Mediterranean, but he's now could be further north in terms of North Atlantic. One more sea move, even though you take Dracula down to 4 HP, that means you don't know if he's in Irish Sea or English Channel or North Sea or Tyrrhenian. Which are going to be a worst case scenario. There's even more places for you to have to check. If there's a hypnosis, then they're going to have to get someone else to Mina. Mina's moving further away from where she'll have to go next in terms of chasing Dracula. Okay. Some trading going on, but this is an event trade. Hypnosis on Mina, so you won't be taking that off. Maybe it might be a planned ambush for her to deal with this vampire, but then if she's dealing with the vampire, she's not using hypnosis. Unless... Oh, I didn't even see that she had items taken off her. Well, I'm not paying attention. Okay, so she doesn't have horse, doesn't have she doesn't have a knife anymore. Okay, vampire dealt with. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. So I take back what I said before. Okay. So that's dealt with. I wonder what the thing is before. So, but he wolf formed to Kadif. He didn't go to. Saragossa because Seward was there. Didn't go to Santander because that got checked. Alicante was on the trail, so it looks like he went to like Lisbon and then faked wolf formed his way to Cadiz. That's what it looks like anyway. I wonder if that's going to really cost him in terms of that 1 health. Oh, Godalming has horses. Okay. Maybe Van Helsing's holding on to Money Trail. Oh, he's landed. Okay. So that means it's west coast of France, Galway, or Cagliari, or Marseille. Is Marseille still a layer? That's the question. Oh no, his horse economy is not sorted. Is that going to be critical, that 1 lost movement? We shall have to see. Marseille is still a layer, so it's not Marseille. Barcelona, so it's Cagliari, Nantes, or Galway. That's not many places. Yeah. Surely you'd go to Cagliari here. It's the safest move. You can't get Consecrated Grounded to death from there. Consecrated Ground in Ireland would be bad. Consecrated Ground in northern France wouldn't be as deadly. Oh yeah, it did fake wolf form. Okay. Because they haven't got enough heavenly hosts, I think. Oh no, they've. Oh, another vampire. Good grief. Okay, right. How's she gonna deal with this one? Yeah, I think this one's probably gonna mature. She does not have the weaponry. She's only got a pistol. You can't kill a new vampire on its own with a pistol. So this vampire is probably going to mature, unless another hunter backtracks. That's not what you want to be doing at this stage. Nice mesmerize, probably. Yep. Stops the escape. And again, if Mina gets beaten up, then it makes it even more likely that this vampire matures. I guess the thing, we haven't seen many fighting vampires from him, so there's always a chance he's going to throw them down. We've seen 1 new and 1 reckless already, so we've got 1 more of each. Okay, nice dodge. But the problem is, yeah, how on earth do you kill a new vampire on your own? If you've got 3 items, it's hard enough, let alone if you've only got a pistol. And the thing is, Altaris knows this. I'm really surprised again that Altaris did not bait him into a night fight here, because that could have just been GG. If Mina dies, then another fangs. Okay, so Mina takes damage, but only 2 damage. No worse than that. So yeah, this is where situations where you know that she used up a stake. I would definitely have baited her into a night fight there. And that could have just then been GG on the spot, because that would have been 4 points if she died somehow. Given she only has 1 weapon, you can play around it. So that'd be up to 9 points, and then, you know, Vampire matures, and then, you know, that's it. Money Trail. Okay, so there was a Money Trail kicking about. No real surprise given how much she'd spiked through the deck. Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so we know it's Cagliari then. So we know exactly where Dracula is, and we know where he's going next. Question is, can the hunters catch him? Given the fact that if this this new vampire matures, that it probably will, then that's up to 8 points. So Dracula needs to make 2 moves in week 4. Do the hunters have enough time? Do they have the events to catch him? Heroic Leap would be deadly. How much health is Dracula? Is it 6 or 4 he's got? 6. That's enough. Unless he gets somehow checkmated by Consecrated Ground, he has to go back to sea, then he'll die. Unless he hides and then feeds. Problem is then he'll be feeding on Monday when he really wants to be landing, trying to get points. The problem is because of this lair in Marseille, that's going to cause some issues. Okay, that's a hide. I don't know about hiding. You're just giving the Huns more time to move east to get into position. Maybe is waiting, maybe we'll feed, then go to Rini and then can wolf form, so then Consecrated Ground isn't such of a risk. Oh, no. I think I know what's going to happen. He's now going to feed, which will mean Lisbon matures, and the 3 spaces after it get white, which means Mediterranean will come off the trail. And the hunters won't know which way he's going. And then he can just land somewhere with a wolf form. And then move once more and he wins. So, as weird as it sounds, if the hunters have Consecrated Ground, they kind of want to play it now, so then he's not able to feed in Cagliari, so they force him off there. But at the same time, then you're using CG really suboptimally, which is not what you want to be doing. Oh... tricky one. Wax cylinders, yeah. But he can feed there. He can feed. Even though he's revealed, well, he should be revealed anyway on the map. Then he can still feed. Yeah, very good play by Altaris there. Very good. And the fact the hunters did not move off Madrid quickly to deal with the vampires meant. I guess as Mina, all you do is just supply and just hope you get a stake with your one random day supply. That's all you can do. How many are in the discard pile? Ah, somebody's picked up a stake somewhere. Okay. I hope the hunters do not search Lisbon here. Because you can't kill it. It's impossible. Wow. Yeah, the Huns are in such a tricky spot here. I guess that play putting 2 vampires like this meant that if those hunters all stayed in Madrid and backtracked to deal with the vampires, then Dracula is winning because they're moving away from him. If they can't deal with the vampires and they move towards him, he still wins because he can mature one and then he can then go in either direction from Cagliari. We'll probably still go east because he's moving away from the hunters, but even still, there's a lot of then trickery involved here, and he might be able to catch the hunters out. Especially if they don't have Renewed Vigor, they won't be able to have the moves that they need, because with Renewed Vigor you can move twice. Once a normal move, and then once with fast horses. So they're not going to have the number of moves necessary to find him. Unless they get very lucky in terms of what cities they pick to search. If Mina managed to get 1 damage in on that vampire, could have then used Heroic Leap against it, but didn't manage to do it. So yeah, this vampire's maturing. Uh-oh. Okay. I thought Mina was gonna search. Don't do it to me, Snuff. Yeah, there's the feed. And there's the mature. So up to 8. And there's Dracula, now he's finally revealed himself. Yeah, this is really awkward. I guess the only way is that... Oh, he's got 9 health, that's the thing. A lot depends on how many seamers... I guess the only way you do it is... wait for him to land, you somehow manage to play Hypnosis first, and then you play Consecrated Ground. And you hopefully checkmate him and you force him back to sea and he dies. But if Dracula plays this smart, he might be, especially since Wolf form's now off the trail, he should be able to evade Consecrated Ground. Just even Wolf forming to Venice would do the trick. Can go to Adriatic if need be. And that lair in Marseille is just causing no end of problems for the hunters trying to get past it. This has been a really close game. I don't know what everyone in live stream chat is saying. I know it's been a bit quiet lately, but this has been a very good game. I thought the hunters were in a really commanding position after not giving up those 7 points early. But Dracula just, through his minions, his vampire minions, has managed just to whittle, you know, Godalming and Mina down to such an extent that they couldn't fight him. And now he's in a very strong position. Pace of the game slowing down a bit here, but it makes sense. These are so critical moves. In general, the game's been played at a very decent pace. So yeah, so I'm just having to try and think here about in terms of, do you move on to the lair? What position do you want to be in to try to jump on Dracula? Okay, I understand that, because you might want to try and go to Genoa. I still think going to Geneva is better. Because you can go to Munich and then down to Venice if need be. And you're blocking a wolf form location. Oh. I don't know about that one. Oh, unless he has another Charlie Carriage. And you can get to Genoa, that's okay. I think going to Geneva is still better with Godalming there. Dracula goes to sea, then you move to Munich, then Dracula wolf forms. Ah, but then you're getting further away from the boot. I guess you could then just... Consecrated Ground the boot. That's really hard. And Dracula just has enough places to go to which are going to cause problems. If the hunters have any chance, they have to get Mina's Hypnosis into play somehow. But you need to do it in such a way that then doesn't slow down the other hunters' movement. Yeah, I mean, may as well. The Wax Cylinders is not going to be effective for the rest of the game, so it makes sense. What is there? Another vampire. So then, you know, worst case scenario, that could mature for Dracula, but... Oh yeah, that's even, yeah, that is pretty significant. And if Dracula, let's think. Cagliari's here right now, so Dracula goes to Turinian. Then Wolf forms to Venice, then goes, yeah, there are ways then Dracula can win in case has to go to sea twice, somehow, or 3 times, but... No, Dracula's in a very strong position here, unless he just happens to get jumped on by 2 of them. Because they are going to be quite well equipped. No Agatha in play though, so that is something in Dracula's favour, but then Rufus is being a bit of a pain right now. Still don't know what that Dracula event is. I'd be really interested to know if we'll see it or not. Yep, Rufus to see. Makes sense. No need to dot call. Probably in Tyrian. Could be playing tricky to go to Mediterranean, but I doubt it. I think in a situation like this, as Dracula, you just want to play the safe move. Yeah, the Huns have been supplying a lot. They've gone through the item deck twice. There's only 16 cards left in the event deck. They must have renewed vigor by now. And that could be enough. Get Sue and Godalming to jump onto Dracula, but you have to jump onto him when he lands. That's the problem. They've only got, unless there's a vampire lair. If there's a vampire lair, then that will give them an extra day. Then Cagliari then might come into effect. Oh, Godalming rolling slow. That's very unfortunate. Oh, there's a Discord saw in Marseille. Well, at least it's not going to heal Dracula, because it's a layer card. Layers can't reveal unless Dracula goes back to them and then, you know, it gets placed onto his trail. Okay, you don't need to reveal that. Well, unless Seward wants to move there too, and then you're doing it so then Seward doesn't get ambushed with it, which makes sense. I mean, to be honest, I think Dracula knows that there are heavily hosts kicking about. So it could have been bats or something, but no, it was just desecrated soil, so they could have walked into that earlier and they would have been much further east by now. Always the way, you never know. We haven't seen any bats yet. So I don't know where they ended up. Supply, or she's going to move up to someone like Bordeaux, perhaps. Nope, supply. Just keep supplying. Keep digging for whatever it is you want. Problem is, if Dracula wolf forms here, the hunters do not know if it's wolf form from Mediterranean or wolf form from Mediterranean, and that is way too many places to check. 17. Did I count that correctly? 17 Dracula events. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 14. Ah. Third time lucky. 17 plus Dracula's got 1, 18. So half of these cards are Dracula events. What on earth are the hunters wanting that they're going to keep supplying for? Maybe just try and get 2 renewed vigors. Because 2 renewed vigors aren't going to win you the game here. That's the problem. You're digging for vampire lair, I guess. The problem is if you draw it now, it's useless. Because I assume Dracula's going to wolf form here. And then it gives the hunters 1 day to find him. But they have so many locations to check. Just from Trinity and Mediterranean alone, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 places. Assuming layers are removed, you've got 16 places to check. And no hide scouts either, so you're not going to, get lucky with the draw and get a hide scout. So I'll eliminate some for you. People in live stream, where would you go? If you're a Dracula here and you're wolf forming, where would you go? What would be your city of choice? Renewed Vigor makes sense. And Speedy Telegraph also makes sense. I don't know if there's any cards that will help you find him from searching, unless there's like well, I guess an Evil Presence, but Evil Presence would actually rule out quite a lot of locations. He could have decided to move another sea space and gone to Athens, but the problem is that's another day of hunt supplying. He'd be able to time it with the Cagliari maturing, but then if Consecrated Ground gets played and things get blocked, he decided to pull the trigger now. Maybe actually moving another sea space was the play. This is more exciting this way. I guess also he could potentially supply for a vampire lair and then play it now. Okay. Van Helsing tries to improve horse economy. That makes sense. Sense of emergency. Oh, it's Mina. Okay, right, because I'm seeing Kadaming's prompt here. So Mina, where's she sense of emergency to? To Granada, maybe? Problem is Madrid still a lair? He has to pay attention to these lair boxes. Nope. Go fish. Nope. Okay, so not those two. Didn't play sneaky. Wow. He's got to find him now, otherwise that's going to be GG. I'd check Venice personally. I think Venice is way more likely. Venice is such a safe move. Because the only way you die is somehow both Kadami and Sud get onto you and they play like a forewarn onto a fog or something. But Consecrated Ground doesn't kill you because you just go to Adriatic and then you land again. Venice is relatively safe. Bari is also very... I think Bari is even safer. Oh, it's a layer. Oh no! It's not a layer. He's got wild horses. Oh, he's got custom search. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, and he decided to take the delay option. What? Oh, and he always becomes delayed. Wow. Oh goodness. Oh well, we at least we found out what the Dracula card was. Should have to get that played. Yeah, I know. It doesn't trigger on fast horses. That's the problem. Well, you got to play it in the end. Oh, he didn't go Venice. Okay. I think if you have Consecrated Ground, you just throw it and just hope. Just, yeah, cross your fingers. But yeah, this is very good effort, Snuffaluffagus. I thought there was a point in this game where I think the Huns were on top, dealing with that early trail the way they did. But wow, they just got beaten up so badly in Spain. And then that Godalming kill, that just gave him the points he needed. He didn't really miss those 7 points from Paris. Talk about a close one. Good grief. I mean, I did say at the beginning that these are two of the best performing players in the tournament so far, and they're definitely showing it. Feel free, people who have been watching, if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like. I hope you've enjoyed it, and apologies for my sleepiness. It's been a very long week. I am going straight to bed after this. We'll see where the Consecrated Ground gets played. I mean, if Altaris is messed up here, he could still die, but I don't think he has somehow. I think he probably played safe, and worst case scenario, he takes two more damage from a C move. Nope, didn't go to Bari either. Wow. Oh, just imagine if he's like in Clermont-Ferrand or something. Yeah, fair enough. Checking Naples, he could have been there. Wow. GG. Great game. Oh, he was in Spain. He went to Saragossa. Or Toulouse. Yeah, Saragossa, not a bad move. Yeah. Wow. Well played, Altaris. Strider, if you're watching. Altaris has made a statement with that. Obviously, you're going to have to flip roles, so it'll be Altaris on Hunters, but yeah. Can't avoid him forever. Yeah, there's a lot of risky moves you could have made. If it works, you look like a genius. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Yeah. Wow. Okay, well, yeah, there's a lot of things going back and forth there. Hopefully I did a good enough job in the live stream to talk about them. But yeah, the lack of ambush with the spy could have actually cost the Hunters, cost Dracula there in terms of, you know, Paris then not maturing, but yeah, managed to beat up the Hunters, separated Seward from the rest of them. Van Helsing wasn't across. I mean, it makes sense why, because you wanted to try and protect, you know, moves from Dracula making a move to Britannica, but if Van Helsing had been there, that would have been an extra Hunter in the mix, more pressure on Dracula. Gamble paid off. Yeah. I just misspelled Turinian, aren't I? Now I can see. Now to see if I can knock Strider off his high horse. That's amazing. You hear this, Strider? Excellent. Well played by both. It was a very, very enjoyable game. Again, kind of similar to like a lot of the games we've had. Like there were things from both sides that maybe I would disagree with in terms of moves, but they were so evenly matched. It made a really exciting game. It's been a really fascinating tournament to watch. It's really great to see players like Altaris and Snuffaluffagus, you know, come into the community and you know, be brave enough to compete, and they're doing really well. So yeah, they might meet again later in the competition. They might meet again in the reverse match when the rankings are revealed and the new fixtures are generated, or maybe in the knockout stage they might meet again. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna hang around much longer because I am very tired. I've been nursing a headache during this live stream. But thank you very much, everybody, for watching and for keeping me company and for all your comments and stuff. Do appreciate it. And I shall see you in another game very, very soon. Just remember, there are some other games, you know, videos being recorded. Bakajic's got one that's going to be released. I think Fangs of Fire is recording one right now that's going to be out. So just keep checking the playlist, and you'll see the videos going out there. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in another video, either a post-game commentary or a live one or a live stream or something like that, very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, what's left of it. See you very soon. Bye-bye.